Hello guys, it's Sharby here and welcome in this new backtesting where I'm going to backtest 27th of April London session on GU. And the reason behind I decided to make another backtesting video for you even though we had a backtesting webinar because I wanted to make another backtesting video for you. The reason is that simple. I wanted to give you content and I wanted to make a new backtesting video for you. And also you can see how do I approach the market, how do I create backtest pre-season plans before the session. And yeah, that's all guys, that's the reason behind it. So yeah, I'm going to backtest 27th of April London session GU, and here are the news for the session. As you can see, we do not have any high impact news, so it is more than safe to trade, and we don't really have to care about the news because we do not have any high impact news at all. So here is the GU, and let's take a look on the daily time frame first. What happened on the higher time frame? What happened on the higher time frame perspective? Well, before the reversal, because before price reached this low point right here, and the reversal has started, technically daily has changed character here to the upside. And after this character changing movement, price has started to print series of higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows. And price has just made a really nice swing breakout structure here to the upside, which has happened technically from this weak demand. And you can see that this weak demand hasn't been mitigated yet. Price reversed before a mitigation on this weak demand, but built up really nice amount of liquidity, and it will be much cleaner on the 4-hour time frame. Also, price couldn't really manage to create a new breakout structure to the upside on the daily time frame. So what can we expect after this failed breakout structure? Well, we can expect the continuation to the downside, reversal to the downside, sweep of this liquidity, mitigation of this zone, and after this zone mitigation, we can expect the overall bullish trend that is on the market currently. So yeah, that's the plan based on the daily time frame. Also, price has just reacted on this valuable daily supply zone, which has caused breakout structure with really nice volume movement. You can see that there was really nice volume movement. Also, there was liquidity just below the zone, which has been swept into it with this movement, which also caused breakout structure. So yeah, technically that's all based on the daily time frame. And let's take a look on the 4-hour. On the 4-hour time frame, technically we had the breakout structure here, but it wasn't really nice. It did not happen with an inefficient movement, but there was a breakout structure, and price couldn't manage to mitigate any valuable demand at this low point right here. So technically this will function as liquidity in itself, but after that price has just created a really nice trendline liquidity on the downside, which has been built up for this 4-hour zone, which was the origin of this swing breakout structure movement. As you can see, there was a decisional zone which has caused directly the breakout structure. It has been flipped, it has been already broken, but after the break of this zone, price couldn't reach the extreme. As you can see, reversed without any demand mitigation caused the breakout structure, but the liquidity is still there on the downside, and I am still expecting the movement to be downside. Also, price is currently inside of this 4-hour supply zone. This 4-hour supply zone technically caused a break of this demand that has caused the breakout structure here. And also this demand has already broken, and below this demand, right here, this is a demand. We can't really find any demand in this region at all. Middle of nowhere reversal, so liquidity, it became part of the liquidity, and after that, price has printed just the third touch of the liquidity. So yeah, really nice amount of liquidity has been built up for this zone right here, and I'm expecting the sweep of this zone, and after the zone mitigation, after a 50-minute change of character, we can expect the reversal to the upside, and we can expect the break of structure here. Technically, these are the plans, long-term plans on this 4-hour time frame. Also, I did mention that price is currently inside of this zone, as you can see. In yesterday's backtesting webinar, I have backtested this region. So we were inside of this zone. Technically, this candle right here was the first candle for us. And price was inside of this 4-hour zone. And we had the 4-hour zone scenarios. First one is a 15-minute change of character. If a 15-minute change of character happened, then we could wait for confirmation entry on the character changing supply zone. Or if price cannot print the change confirmation entry here after a breakout structure, we can wait for a confirmation entry. These were the plans. So we were expecting bearish movements after a deeper mitigation here. We were expecting the sweep of this liquidity, which did not happen. And actually there was an entry opportunity which has hit our stop loss, but it was perfectly fine. It was a valid trade opportunity. So yeah, the second scenario for this zone was the confirmation entry on the last recent demand. And if it happened, then we could target this high right here, and we could expect the breakout structure to the upside, and we could expect the break of this 4-hour zone. But the change of character happened, and we were expecting short opportunities, which has happened, but it did not really happen in our favor because it hit our stop loss, whatever. So what happened here, as you can see? Well, technically price couldn't make a breakout structure here to the upside, and I believe it has reacted on an extreme zone right here, but we will see. Based on this 4-hour zone, based on this 4-hour time frame, as I said before, I'm expecting this movement to the downside, so I'm expecting the sweep of this liquidity, mitigation of this extreme, and I'm on the bearish side currently. But if we take a look here, currently the 4-hour time frame doesn't really have a clear direction, so it's struggling a bit, ranging a bit inside this high and low point. There's really nice amount of liquidity on the downside, price building up liquidity on the upside too. So yeah, we do not have a really clear direction on the 4-hour time frame, so we have to work what the 15-minute time frame shows us and what the 15-minute time frame gives us. So yeah, let's take a look on the 15-minute time frame, and let me play price forward a bit because session will start here. Bear with me. All right, the next candle will be the first candle in London session. All right, so here was the 4-hour zone mitigation. This 4-hour zone mitigation followed by a 15-minute change of character here because this was the last recent breakout structure. Last recent demand has been broken from this zone. Technically, this was still a decision and the extreme was here this week. But the wick for me is just too small. If we use this tool, technically the wick is only 1.5 pip, so it's not that big, and I would rather use for an extreme zone with the previous candle, even though the wick is greater than the previous candle. So I would rather use an extreme zone like this one. And you can see that technically price reacted on our origin, our extreme, which has initiated the character changing movement after a 4-hour zone mitigation. And this 15-minute zone mitigation has caused also a 15-minute change of character here, because when price reversed back to this extreme zone, there was the last recent breakout structure. This last recent breakout structure happened from this demand. This demand has already fallen, as you can see, with the body closure. So 15-minute change character, perfect. Which has happened from this zone. It has been already mitigated with a small percent mitigation, but we can expect a deeper mitigation on it because the 50% hasn't been mitigated yet. So probably this will function, and actually this will function as liquidity. For a deeper mitigation, we can expect a deeper mitigation on it. If it happens, we can look for sell confirmation entries, sell opportunities. All right. Price didn't really mitigate any valuable demand at this region, and we can see that there wasn't any demand at all on the 15-minute time frame. The only inefficient area is this one, but this demand, this weak demand, is directly part of this huge liquidity pool on the downside. So price didn't really mitigate any 15-minute demand, not even a 4-hour demand. So this will function as liquidity. Also, if we take a look on this price action after this reversal, we can see that how weak it is, and price technically just built up liquidity here for the upcoming shorts. So we can mark it out as a liquidity pool for the upcoming shorts. Yesterday, actually not yesterday, but there was a sell opportunity in yesterday's webinar. So yeah, but after that, as you can see, the expectation order flow has happened. So the bearish movements happened as it was expected, and price left behind a demand here. This demand technically broken from this supply, sorry, so this is a supply. This supply has been broken from this zone, and also this zone caused really nice inefficient movement to the upside. At least it caused some inefficiencies. So there will be orders on this zone, caused breakout structure here, caused breakout structure here. Actually, it was a strong change of character right here, but it caused something, caused a valuable movement, caused inefficiencies. So this is a valuable demand for us. This demand has caused a strong change of character technically without any demand mitigation. So I'm expecting a break of this zone if price can manage to mitigate it, and I'm expecting the continuation of the bearish order flow, sweep all of this liquidity out. But we will see. So there was a supply which has been broken, 50-minute change character strongly, and also there was another zone right here. Technically, this was the wick, also like in this case, and this zone has been broken too, but price didn't really leave behind any valuable 50-minute demand at this region. The only valuable demand was here that has caused breakout structure, but it has already broken. And also, if we take a look here, price built a really nice amount of liquidity on the downside for the upcoming shorts. So there is a literally perfect trendline liquidity for the shorts. Also, just below this extreme 15-minute supply, there was literally perfect triple taps. First touch, second touch, third touch. This liquidity has been swept into this extreme, and after this extreme, price has just reacted on it. 50-minute candle closed inside of it and reversed back to the downside, and that's the main reason why we can expect continuation to the downside. But currently, price is reacting on this 50-minute demand. But this 50-minute demand is not that really important for us. I won't really look for longs from this demand. It was technically part of the liquidity. It became part of the liquidity with this mitigation, and there is just a perfect liquidity pool on the downside. But this zone has a really nice chance to reverse the price back to this character changing supply zone, where we can expect deeper mitigation confirmation entry. If it happens, we can target this liquidity pool, or we can target this 15-minute demand. That's the first scenario. The second scenario is the flip of this zone. If the flip of this zone happens, we can wait for a confirmation entry on the flip zone, or we can mark the 1-minute refinement out. We can wait for liquidity creation for it, and we can use a risk entry in this case on the 1-minute refinement inside of the higher time frame flip zone. These are the next possible scenarios, and also we have another one, which is actually a reversal from this zone. If price flips this this character changing supply, then we can wait for a confirmation entry, and we can target this high point right here, because if this supply breaks, then probably